Another issue that I stay focused on because it is a threat. It is at the tip of the spear of the globalization. And I will tell you, I don't know the timing of all of what will happen in Revelation, but I would not be surprised to see the United Nations and the World Health Organization being a part of what we read in Revelation. And so I continue to call attention to the World Health Organization's proposed pandemic agreement. Now, yesterday marked the deadline to submit comments and offer feedback to the Biden administration's Department of Health and Human Services regarding this possible agreement. Now, you've actually been helping us by submitting comments there as well, and I'm grateful for that. But yesterday, the Family Research Council submitted our response, which addressed the problems to this agreement. It's really a treaty. And the problems that this poses to American national sovereignty, and doing so from a biblical perspective, because I believe we need to examine all these things according to truth. Well, joining me now to discuss this, Chris Gacek, Senior Fellow for Regulatory Affairs here at the Family Research Council, who authored the written comment on behalf of FRC regarding WHO's Pandemic Preparedness Agreement. Chris, welcome back to Washington Watch. Good to see you.
It's good to see you, Tony.
Now, we've called for the agreement to be rejected entirely. It cannot be salvaged with edits or amendments, but this was an opportunity to speak into the process. So explain why we did what we did and what the possible outcomes are.
Well, I saw this as such a sweeping document, and at one point I basically said this is the WHO, the draft treaty is more of a political manifesto and a world government constitution, but it's a political manifesto more than was anything, because it just called for wrapping up so many parts of the world politics and economy and all these sorts of things in this global framework that they were putting together. And I thought it would be really important to sort of say what Family Research Council is, what we're about, and how our worldview is different than the worldview of the World Health Organization and the whole UN and globalist conglomerate. And so we started off by basically saying that above all else, we believe in protecting life, and that human life is critical because man is made in the image and likeness of God. And we made that, I think stated that very clearly up front, and then also reiterated a very strong commitment to free speech and free scientific inquiry and the ability of people to work together without unipolar medical domination from higher authorities.
Well, and also a part of this accord, which was not central to our comments yesterday that were filed, but a part of this pandemic accord is for calling upon member states to essentially suppress contrary thought and views.
Right. I mean, it part of the whole process and part of the larger, the framework around it, there is this whole UN conglomerate about these sustainable development goals that are supposed to be, completed by 2030. But these things all sort of wrap into each other. But there's a big concern in all of these institutions about free speech and the ability of people to communicate with each other and react in critical fashion and analyze the sorts of solutions and political dictates that they are demanding of us, and we reject that. So yeah.
I want to play a clip from the Secretary General, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, yesterday, I think anticipating probably this program today, and what we're saying. Clip number 7.
There are those who claim that the Pandemic Agreement and IHR will cede sovereignty to WHO and give the WHO Secretariat the power to impose lockdowns or vaccine mandates on countries. This is fake news, lies, and conspiracy theories. These claims are completely false.
So this is all fake news, talking about the power that they're trying to use to impose on the entire world, member states, these protocols that would be triggered by pandemics.
Well, one of the things I just want to say is, I'm not sure he isn't sort of playing one game here, which is, the WHO is sort of saying, well, we're not, grabbing or taking this power. Well, if the United States gives you power over it to the WHO, right? Are they sort of grabbing it? I'm not sure that there isn't some sort of sophistry there. But look, I mean, remember there's another track here, which is it's moving along, and it has to do with these international health regulations, and in that kind of cluster of agreements and ideas is this, the WHO, the head of the WHO is able to declare an international health emergency.
Right.
So once that happens, then all of this sort of power comes into a place, and so then you start having all of this flow out of it, and so he's not telling the truth.
It's a really good point. If these member states give this power to them, then they're not really taking it. So you got to watch the word games that they're playing. Chris Gacek, we're out of time. We're going to talk more about this, I'm sure, in the days ahead. Thanks so much for being with us.